Sunday. Happy Sunday, everybody. We are here again cooking another meal. For those of you who are always here with us, welcome back. For those of you who are new, welcome. Take a look over here. We're going to start looking at what we're cooking today. We are making the Hangover burger with a homemade aioli and some chili and whatnots. So we're going to give people a chance to pop in. Hey, what's up, Duke? Always a big fan. So here we're doing what we are, a Hangover burger. I'm going to get a couple things out the way on the computer while you guys come in. Until then, keep looking at this, and you could take a screenshot over here of how you do it. It's pretty intense, but it is well worth it in the end. Alright guys, so we're going to go over these ingredients really quickly. For the chili, you have all of this right here: chili, onion, black pepper, salt, chili powder, paprika, oregano. For your burger, you're doing ground beef, salt and pepper, and paprika. And then for toppings, you're going bacon, egg, cheese, and Hawaiian bread. And then for our spicy aioli, it is lemon juice, Tabasco, mayonnaise, and cayenne. So, so chefjelani.com, that's where all the stuff is going to be. We're going to be putting our recipes up. Jelani Nichols on Facebook, that's where you guys are now. Follow me here, Chef Jelani, that's how we're doing it. While you guys are coming in now, I'm going to start to get to explain what the Hangover burger is. The Hangover burger is any burger that has egg on it. That's the actual chef classification for what you can call a Hangover burger. This is my recipe for one. It has a spicy aioli, a chili that I like to use, and it's a Hawaiian bread. And it's really, really good. I suggest you guys try it. I love the Hawaiian bread because I make burgers out of it, and I also make sliders out of it. And I also can turn them sideways and cut them and make hot dogs out of them. So they're really versatile, very delicious bread. Come over here, I'm going to show you guys what we're talking about. This is our Hawaiian bread here. So just to get right into it, just to not waste you guys' time so much, our Hawaiian bread, how we're going to do it is we're going to open it up like this, right? We're going to take a 4x4 little piece. So, not 4x4, I'm sorry, 2x2. A 2x2 square, so 4 pieces, and this is going to be how big our burger is. So we take this, we slice it this way. So, come this way, slice it across this line right here. Alright, come across if you need to. Alright. Alright, so discard the extra bread. This is your bottom, this is your top. This is how our burger is going to start being formed. Got dread dropping all over the place. So, set this here. This is our cheese we're using. White aged sharp cheddar. Right? So, cheese, bacon. We're going with the thick cut. Right? Bacon. Let me take it out for you. It is not the thickest cut bacon. That is not the thinnest. It is pretty average cut bacon. You want that because you want to be able to stack your bacon and not just have one strip and have it be too thick. If you get too thick of bacon, you'll run into the dilemma of, do I put 2 strips so I can get bacon in every bite, but the bite where you get 2 strips of bacon will be really, really tough to get down. And then here we have our ground sirloin. I suggest you get this from a butcher so you can choose what cut of meats you're getting ground up. It's not just ground beef, it's a specific cut of meat that's been ground up for you. So here's a ground sirloin. It is half a pound. This will make one really big burger or two regular sized human burgers. I say you can make either because fast food chains and things like Red Robin, they're making the half pound patties burger instead of just a double patty burger. They're just making one giant meat slab, which I don't really approve of. It messes with your cooking. It messes with the actual how the beef cooks. When you're cooking things like burgers and things, it still it still goes on the same rule as steaks and other beef, where you're cooking it well or medium well or rare. And when you make it a giant patty, you're messing with how cooked the inside and how cooked the outside will be. The bigger the patty, the more cooked the outside will be, just to get the inside how you like it. So I like to go smaller. That's why with steaks you tend to butterfly them. If you want them cooked well done, but you don't want them dry, tell them to cut it in half. Do it like that. So, lesson over. We're going to start cooking our chili. So, seasonings. We have chili powder, paprika, cayenne pepper, oil, not extra virgin, regular oil, all-purpose flour. I'll show you what that's for. Chopped white onion, Tabasco sauce or any other hot sauce you want, unsalted butter, oregano, black pepper, salt, and garlic powder, and then lemons for lemon juice, and then 1 egg for our topping. So, this is the chili of choice. Excellent chili con carne. It is a beef chili. We're going to. My camera lady is turning down my pot for me. We're going to start cooking our chili in. So, before we get to this, I'm going to show you this in a second. But what we're using this for is over here in this pot. We're going to throw in. We're going to start our chili. So we throw in a little bit of oil. Throw in about a cup of diced white onion. And you just let that cook for about 4 minutes, tossing it and seasoning it throughout. We're going to season it with the seasonings that would go in our chili. So come this way. We're going to go a tablespoon of each of these. So we're going chili powder, paprika, garlic powder, and oregano. So the reason I add all these to the onions is so I give them a chance to cook more and more thoroughly while I'm cooking this dish. This dish could easily take an hour and a half if you do everything separately, the bacon and the beef and the chili. But if you do everything at the same time, it makes life a lot easier. So I start stirring these, and your onions will start to become their own flavoring in themselves. And so you get these really brown onions, and you start cooking them down. Set this right here. So I'm going to let that keep cooking, and I'm going to get started on my next thing, which is my burger patties. Here is my actual burger. I'm going to start making this into patties. We went over this before, guys, but red tabs on your meat board. You want to stick to that rule generally to keep your house safer. So we're going to come over here, This is one reason why I like this kind of stove is it's more cooking space in general. So going with our ground meat. And one really want to keep is the more you work it, the more you'll need a binder. So if you keep it how it is, cold, pressed, not too much movement, it will stay how it's supposed to in terms of not breaking apart. But if you have warm ground beef and you start messing with it, you're going to need to throw breadcrumbs or an egg in it to keep it together. So with the cold ground beef, it allows us to work with it without the extra additives. So I'm going to spread out my area just a little bit so I can add pepper and salt and then some paprika and just a little paprika just for a little bit of taste. And I spread it out that way I can start folding it in without worrying about it. So there's a couple ways you can do this. I prefer to smash it on the board and then fold it and keep doing it like that, like you would dough. Expand it, fold it back, and keep folding it over itself, which ensures that everything gets evenly mixed through. You should be good. So take this, you form a patty. The best way to form a patty where you know you're not getting any, where it's not going to break apart, is you get out all the air. And how you do that is you throw it in between your hands. It's important that it's in the air for a little bit because you want it to have its own, when it hits, the air comes out this way and your hand's not in the way from squishing it. So toss it back and forth. And all the air should be out. And then your patty should be pretty much self-forming from there. So I'm going to set that aside, wash my hands, and get back to my chili. Arkansas tuning in, Ashley tuning in, Kathy. Hi everyone, I can see you guys while I'm washing my hands. Hey LB, I am doing good. How are you? I like talking to you guys. You guys seem pretty good. So, looking at my chili now, I have my onions cooking. And if you're not confident with your onion cooking, I wouldn't suggest doing this because you can't really tell how cooked they are when they're coated in seasoning like this. Because the usual way to tell is when they get translucent. I'm sure you've heard me say that. But when they're covered in all the seasoning, you can't really tell if they're translucent or not. It's more about how they feel when you put your tool to them, which is a harder skill to pick up. But it is relatively easy. The easiest way to tell is by trial and error. I know when they're going to get mushy, and that's when I don't want. So I'm going to stop before they get mushy. But if they do, it doesn't really matter because it's all getting to the same dish anyway. If you like onions on your meal, then I wouldn't worry about cooking them down too much anyway. You might like it like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to crack open this. We're going to open up this excellent chili container. Some of you may not have worked with this. I'm pretty sure some of you haven't worked with this before. This is beef chili, prepackaged. You can find it in most Mexican markets. It's pretty hard to find in other places. But it's really concentrated, so you need water to smooth it down. So what we're going to do is first, I'm going to grab water, and I add water to my onions. Now that I'm looking at my pouring vessel, I think I'm gonna spill some. Oh, I'm pretty good. All right, so you add just a little bit of water. You probably gonna need to add more water later, but you don't want to start off with too much. Take a nice big spoonful of chili. It's pretty concentrated, so you don't need too much. Oh, now I'm making a mess. So you just plop your chili in here. You're gonna come. Look at this way your chili will look like at the beginning. It's just your onions, your water, and a chili brick looking thing. This is more old school technique. I haven't worked with it too much. What do you think, Auntie? Is that enough chili to water ratio?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's kind of reduced down.
Right. So the chili to water ratio took me a while to figure out. I made chili a couple times, but this is one of the things we've made sauces before on this show, and I've always said when your sauces are hot or warm, they continue cooking down and getting thicker. This chili is a prime example of once it's how you want it, it's going to get a little bit thicker because of how hot it's getting. Same thing goes for if you want to keep it on the stove, keep it hot, but you don't want to, have it thicken up on you. You just want to keep adding a little bit of water while it's on the stove. But a couple things are going to happen. The water's going to cook out, which thickens it. And this thick chili stuff is going to keep going around, which is also going to thicken it. So it's going to get pretty thick pretty quickly. I'm going to step behind this way. We're going to go to the griddle now. Make sure this is hot enough. So, how should I start this? Usually you want to grill burgers. You can do however you want to have my family coming in. You can grill however you want. Today we're using a griddle. And I suggest a griddle to go with the theme of the Hangover burger. This whole thing can be cooked between one pan and a griddle. The pan being for the chili, of course. But the egg, the bacon, the burger can all be cooked on the griddle, which is what we're going to do. And so with the griddle, there's a couple things you need to look out for. I've simulated, we have many griddles in this house, but I've simulated what to do if you have a griddle, but you can't find the little thing right here. What you do, you take a glass container, you line it with aluminum foil, right? And a lot of people, you might be tempted to stop there, but what you want to do is you want to fill this with flour, right? So glass, aluminum foil, then flour. You put that right there, and boom. Any old griddle that you don't want to use because you lost it, you should be good again. I love griddles. We have about 5 of them in the house now because we get them all the time. We pick them up at any white elephant at Christmas. Anyone wants to give them to us, we'll gladly take them. So, take our patty and we throw it on the griddle. It is dealer's choice whether or not you use oil on the griddle. Beef has one of the highest fat ratios aside from pork, but it makes its own fat. So eventually it will create its own oil. The difference is without oil you're going to have a crispier top. And then it will create its own grease so it won't burn. With the oil, it's going to have a brown top, not so much a black top. So we're going to go for the brown because we're going to get a lot of our burnt flavor from our bacon. So we don't need too much in our meat. So we're going to wait for this to heat up just a little bit. My mom, I'm sure she will see this eventually. She has a habit of putting stuff in cold oil. I don't know why you shouldn't do it, but I was taught that you shouldn't do it. And I was taught by multiple people. My grandfather would never put something in cold oil. I don't know why. I know for things like fried chicken is really important because you don't want it to soak up. But things like this, it's more just about the crispy skin than anything. So, burger is cooking. We're going to let this go Alright, so just to tip you guys, keep your burgers from bellowing up. You take your thumb, you punch it right here in the center. That will stop your burger from bellowing like this. It'll keep it nice and flat. So, coming over this way. Alright, so chili's going. You can come over this way. As it gets hotter, you should be able to mix it. As it gets warmer and warmer, you should be able to mix it more through. We're using this type of pot, the ceramic pot, for a very specific reason. You don't want your chili to burn to the bottom of your pot, which is easy to do because it's so many different things in your soupy concoction that it's really easy to burn to the bottom. There's not anything keeping it from burning like oil or something. So we use a ceramic or a copper pot or pan to keep things on the level, keep things from sticking to each other. So while that's cooking, I suggest you throw on your bacon. Your bacon should go on, make sure this is out. Your bacon should go on, depending on its thickness, is how long you should cook your bacon. And as my aunt has taught me lovingly, everyone likes their bacon differently and very specifically. So cook your bacon how you want. I can't tell you how crispy your bacon should be, but make it how you like it. You're going to be cutting off these two fatty ends to make it more sizable for a burger, and you know, it's the fatty ends. You don't want the fatty ends too much. So, come over this way. Our chili is cooking now. It is boiling up. So you want to keep an eye on your water level. I will add more water if I need to, but stay tuned. So now we're going to get started on our aioli. So our aioli is a mayonnaise-based sauce with citrus and other seasonings and some kind of tangy ginger hot sauce or something like that. Today we're going to be going lemon and hot sauce, a classic spicy aioli, a southern French type of thing that's really popular in New Orleans. But you start off with just regular mayo. You can make your own mayo, but when you make an aioli, you're going to realize you're just making mayonnaise and then going from there. And so, how you make mayo? How you make mayo is you take the blender, you crack an egg yolk in it, not the whites, and then you slowly blend in oil. And then you got mayo. I can't make it any easier for you guys. But it's egg yolk and oil, season it with lemon juice or pepper, and it should be good. So I'm just going to grab a good helping of, got mayo all over my fingers, good helping of mayo, right, and then we'll check out. Alright, so, good helping of mayo, about half a lemon juice, half a lemon juice, you discard that. Drop in mayo. Let me grab my handy dandy.
I got you.
She got me on the paper towels, guys. Alright, so a clean kitchen is a happy kitchen. One thing you want to remember when you're doing this is not to overdo the lemon, because it will kill your burger. It will make it not make any sense if it's all extra lemony. But what we're going to put in here is, let me show you guys. I get to be camera person. No, you want the fat on your burger? Feel free to only put the fat on your burger. I'm not trying to take you away from that. So from here, we're going to add this Tabasco, right? Add just a tiny pinch, enough for some color, right? Tabasco or any other thing you want to use, any other hot sauce you want to use. And we just add a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. This is my camera lady stirring it up for me so we keep our chili nice and alive. So this is our aioli as it is now. You want to grab a whisk or something and just start whisking that up. Alright, so pretty simple, guys. That's your aioli, but I guarantee you I've got more compliments on my sliders and burgers because I take the time to just make an aioli instead of just using mayo. But it is killer. Just that 10 seconds I spent making this. Mayo, lemon juice, hot sauce, and your seasonings. You're good. Everyone loves it. Fat is the king of cooking, if you guys didn't know. So this is the color you want, just about. It's going to be a big burger, I can tell you that. Which is good. It's going to be about a little under half a pound. We didn't use all of the meat, but we used a good amount of it. It'll be in between a quarter and a half a pound. It's going to be good. So, stir your chili constantly. There's a delicate balance between how long you want to cook your chili and how much water is in your chili. And so, I'm thinking I'm going to want to cook my chili until I'm ready to put it on. And I'm thinking that my water, my consistency of my chili is about right here. I'm thinking that's pretty good, maybe just a little thicker for a burger, you know, not so runny. This would be perfect for, you know, Fritos or something. But I want it just a little thicker for my burger. But I think I'm going to have to cook it for a little bit longer than I have time for. So where did I put my water? So I'm going to grab my water from behind my camera lady. I will just add a little bit, just a tiny bit. Because I think it's going to be just right when I'm ready. Oh, is that popping on me? It just popped on me. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to butter and get our bread ready. So what you want to do is you want to take a tiny little microwavable container, drop your butter in there, and you want to microwave that off. So while I do that, you guys can take a look at what we've done so far. If you want to screenshot this while we're here, you can. For those of you who haven't been here, this is what we're making today. The Hangover burger with southern aioli. It's about 45 minutes to make. This is all of our ingredients. If you want to stay here, you can. Hey Imani, nice to see you. I will be right back. Gonna hop to the microwave for just a second. Alright, so the Hangover burger is beef, bacon, egg, aioli, and Hawaiian bread and white American cheese. So that's the general. If you want to change it, you can to make it fit your dietary restrictions. This is the best burger I could think of that would work well in a veggie burger form. I'm flipping my bacon now. Looks pretty good on that side. So your bacon's gonna look pretty good no matter how you cook it. Bacon always looks pretty delicious, unless you cook it really, really low. Awesome. So, a couple things you want to remember while you're doing this. you're cooking your beef patty to your specifications. Don't let me tell you how well or rare you should have your beef patty, or let anyone else tell you that. That's totally up to you. I have to tell you this as a chef though, when cooking beef, you have to get it to 165. And then you can stop cooking it for all I care. That's what rare steak or blue steaks are. It's basically, they made the steak get to how hot it needs to be, and then they stop cooking it. A blue steak, for those of you who don't know, is they take the steak, sear it, and then they're done. It is more rare than rare. Yeah, my auntie just winced. It's more rare than rare, but you can order it and they will make it for you. But it won't kill you. It's just a raw steak that's had all the bacteria killed, but it's still cooked. It's hard to explain, but it's on the fine dining spectrum, which is an interesting spectrum to say the least. So I'm gonna keep checking on my chili. So what you're looking out for are the cooking times of your burger and your bacon. Everything else is pretty good. I'm going to take this right here. I'm going to throw my bread on it and my melted butter. Alright, so take the bread like this. Take a melted butter. Just pour that on there. And be generous with yourself, you know. This burger is all about indulging. And so feel free to pour the butter on it. You know, it's all about the finer things in life. So your oven at 400, you don't need to preheat it because it's just bread. You can put it in before. Preheat your oven to 400, pop them in, and then take them out when you're ready. I'm going to pop those in when the burgers get closer to done. We're going to come over here to start our egg. Our burger should be almost ready. Move all of this. Move all this over. Move all this over. Alright, so if you guys didn't know, the history of sliders was they had grill, one side hot, one side cold, and they would cook the burger and slide up. That's what I call sliders. For those of you that know, it's all hot, so sliding doesn't really help much except taking it off at once. Speaking of which, take the bacon down. Alright, taking my bacon. Alright, so paper towels. Feel free to cook your egg on the same griddle. I personally like to just get a lot of the solids off. You know, burn my thumb. Alright, so get the solids off, right? All over this paper towel. You don't want those. And then I'm going to grab my oil right here. Pour a dash of clean oil down. And crack an egg right onto it. Salt and pepper. So, these are our toasted bread here. The light parts are where we poured the butter. The dark parts are where there was no butter. I prefer it like this, extra crispy with the not crispy parts. I just really enjoy it. Let me grab So I'm gonna flip this. So we bust our yolk, swirl it around a little bit, and we bust it for people like my auntie who doesn't like it yolky, all right? And you do that for a couple of reasons. It's not all in the same place, and you can cook the yolk quicker without cooking all the whites so much. Alright, so we're going to spread some aioli on this patty. Do a nice serving of it. I just realized I said patty and I meant bread. And then throw our patty on. Ugh. And then on the hot side of your patty, you're going to put the cheese. So, cheese on the hot side, just said. Hot egg, straight on the cheese. Yep. Chili to top it off. This is what we call a house chili when you make your own chili. You're supposed to package it up and save it for a later date. All right.
Bacon.
All right, you're right. All right, so this is really good. We're going to sit this here. So you guys can admire that as it is. And then you toss on 2 strips delicious cooked bacon. And because of how, boom. So this is your burger. Slice it open for you guys. Alright. Bad boy bacon. Super burger. Look right there. Alright, so basically guys, your hangover burger is meant to be indulgent and delicious. My camera lady opted out of this one. So I will take it for the team on this one and bite into this delicious looking burger. Take over for me, Auntie. That is one good burger. On the Hawaiian bread.
He can't even talk.
Alright. I can't do it without my auntie trying at least a piece. So we're going to give her.
You have a tester over there.
Oh. Hey, Thad, you awake? Nah, that taster is asleep. That taster had a day at work. So, here you go. I promise not to get you. So, this is what it should look like. It's a pretty thick burger on this one, but she's enjoying it. the aioli and everything makes it what it is. So chili, aioli, bacon, Hawaiian bread, and an egg. That's all of it. Yoku Simmons.
Very good, very good.
No? Yeah?
Good.
Awesome. So, I believe we're about ready to wrap up on this one. As you guys have probably noticed, we're trying to keep them not an hour and a half as they usually are. But I think this was a pretty good one. Feel free to try this at home. It is pretty easy on the scale of what we usually do. But yeah. See you next Sunday. As always, go to chefjelani.com, Chef Jelani on Facebook. The Hangover Burger, for those of you who want to see it again. Burger, aioli, chili, bacon, egg, and all that. Not try to sell it. Alright guys, I'm out of here. I will see you next Sunday, as always. I try to stay consistent with the Sundays. There was one Sunday I didn't do it because I was off a 4-day catering event. I was kind of dead. So, see you next Sunday, definitely. It will be something vegetarian for those vegetarians. And thanks for watching.